Yo, yo, yo! Welcome. It is Jessie Stone, and this is my first video for Sports Business Thoughts, all things sports, business, marketing, current events, popular events. So without further ado, I thought this week would be an absolute perfect week to talk about golf. For those that know about the Waste Management Open, whoop, whoop, it's one of the most popular events, I would argue not even in the sport of golf, but in the sports world completely. The Waste Management Open is so fun, and I think one of the reasons why is because it is so unlike any other golfing event there is. And so this kind of tournament is super advantageous for golf. I would argue, talking more on the business sense, also I'm a little biased. I would say I'm an avid golfer, really interested in the players, the athletes, agency, golf management styles, revenue streams within golf, and I guess a really good point to kind of describe how golf is a lot different than other professional sports would be in another class right now. We're talking about contracts and CBAs and negotiating styles between players, the leagues, the owners. Golf doesn't really have that, and I think that's just because of our history, the way it has transcended over the years. We don't really have an acting CBA, and I think that's just because of the USGA, the PGA, those compliance rules and regulations, and how tournaments have been just in years prior. With that said, though, I think a third branch between USGA and the PGA is now the LPGA. For events like the Waste Management Open, the Ryder Cup, the President's Cup, Christy Kerr actually made a huge push last year and last semester when I did a lot of research about this. The LPGA should be able to make a team just like the PGA does for things like the Ryder Cup. Christy Kerr really wanted there to be a women's, side of this President's Cup where they could also compete across different countries, which as a female golfer, as someone, as I said, interested in golf, having worked at golf courses, having worked at golf club manufacturers, having worked with a little bit of players, I think that would be super advantageous. I think it would be absolutely a great business model for the PGA, the LPGA, USGA to kind of make some additional revenue in their revenue streams with the addition of the LPGA and some of these huge major events. I think with that said, what can the LPGA do to kind of incorporate themselves in the Waste Management Open? Is there a day where they can be a part of all the action? Not only would they gain viewership and kind of FaceTime in TVs, advertisements, brands, all things like that, sponsorships, but it would also be super beneficial for not even young female golfers, young golfers in general, but young female athletes in general. Like, hey, they're at this huge, big event too. And I think it's awesome that it's local. There's a lot of connections to golf here in Arizona, kind of as a shameless plug. But thank you, everyone. I'm super excited. I know I already went over my 2-minute